What in the world? Wow. That is a first. That was an immediate like blue screen restart in my Windows. My copy of Windows is Swedish, right? I got this computer when I was in Stockholm. And so I don't know what the hell it just said to me. Bitrate looking rough. Got a kind of a red bitrate right now. That's unusual. That has nothing to do with the blue screen though, I would think. What in the world? Gonna be one of those kind of nights. Oh, cozy Japanese role-playing game music, full nostalgia, back in action. I'm so discombobulated right now from that. Yeah, I saw you said we literally crashed the stream. Yeah, you did. Thank you. I'm nervous now. What could have caused that? Was it Unity in the background or was it our game? I just logged in. Let's see if we can do it again. And why is my bitrate staying red now? That's so weird. Okay. Yeah. When in doubt, blame Unity. Well, we're running Unity and our own Unity client separately on top of it. Ooh. All right. So you guys ready to see if this happens again? It was a bummer. It just had such a wonderful, pleasant surprise of a raid. What are you using to host the game at the moment? Ali has got a server set up that is hosting it. We've got a persistent server somewhere. Ali could explain it better, but unfortunately he's laying down tonight. He had a bad inner ear thing going on and has a case of the dizzies. So he's not here to actually give you the details on that. All right, I'm nervous. I'm going to click the link again to see what happens. If we crash again, I've got chat up on my phone. And so I'll let you know what's going on. I'll let you know if I smell smoke. My camera's out of position. That was a hard reset. I'll move me here. Flip it back here, maybe. Pretty nervous. All right, let me get this. The game capture. There we go. That's a little bit better looking. You guys still there? My viewer count numbers are always turned off, so I have no clue. If you're not talking. No? Good. Okay. Yeah, so I've got red bitrate. Let me refresh this window. I'll lose all the chat for a second, but maybe oh. Now it's green. It was just a Twitch window error. Okay. Dude, I'm so nervous now. I'm glad that happened tonight. No offense to any of you. I'm glad that happened tonight and not when we had an interview going. Speaking of interviews. Oh. What was it? Have we had... Oh. It just... So the client crashed again. We'll switch to... Oh, we got it. We'll stick in Unity for tonight and see what happens. But I could have sworn I had the client crash a couple times the other night as well. Vanifac, I have not had Smed on. He was supposed to be... Thank you for 7 months. He was supposed to be on, I think last September. I'd have to go through the email correspondence. We had a date and everything, and then there was a bit of radio silence. I got stood up. Oh, good point, Belfaster. I'm assuming Ollie's got something like that set up. Probably busy as hell. Well, he's not on New World, so another one of our former colleagues from SOE is heading up New World, if I'm not mistaken. Should be Rich Lawrence heading up New World. But some of the former SOE folks are on it. I believe. Man, I've been spacing out pretty hard. I couldn't remember Defend the Night earlier, and now I cannot remember Bill Trost's name. Bill Trost, I could have sworn he's creative director on New World. Hey, Golden Gloves. Glad you're liking it, Bunny. Let me see if I can play through here. Oops. Gotta be hard coming from SOE and Daybreak, where the devs often talk to the communities on Reddit and Twitter, to Amazon, where it seems like they're not allowed. Yeah. I could see that. I'm looking to see if we have a crash log somewhere. Nick would probably know better than I do, to be honest. Sounds more enjoyable. I wasn't gonna say it, Bunny. For some people, it may be a little bit better. You've got a little bit thicker layer between you and the folks. Oh, my UI's all messed up on this client. Depends on the community, yeah. I feel like I'm talking too loud. I gotta take the earbud out. So, I was mainly just wanting to play a little bit tonight before the blue screen. Now I'm super nervous about, So Ollie said do this and then stop and then come back in. So we'll see if that works. To fix the UI. What do you mean otherwise? SOE wouldn't have been destroyed like it was. Huh? Vanifac, what's the biggest challenge? Nick had mentioned he posted the economy issue. We're looking at that. That was pretty interesting. Maui Game Studio, thank you for the follow. Are you actually in Maui? The sun is going down. In a game studio in Maui. That's pretty awesome. Wailuku? Wailuku? I'm probably messing it up. Is that the name of the game studio? I'm going to look it up real quick on the other screen. Oh, it's a location. So, Hawaii, everything I've seen about it looks so beautiful. It looks so amazing. And then until I look at where it's at on a map, and I'm like, holy crap! It's in the middle of the ocean. It's terrifying. I can imagine it, and it's so small in the ocean. I can imagine just one tentacle from some sea beast just swiping the entire contents of the island down into its giant Cthulhian maw. It's just, or a tidal wave. I'm not, so crazy story, I don't know why, but when we moved to California, when I went out to get the job at Sony, we lived in this really, really, really tiny apartment that had bars on the window and like the steel mesh door and all of that stuff. It was one of those like $500 a month cash to the landlord off the books kind of place. And I would have nightmares that a tidal wave would come in from the ocean and I would be stuck in that apartment. And I'm not joking. I'm not. And sorry if that freaks anybody out, but like that, I believe, I was in North Park. It would have to be such a huge tidal wave to get me in North Park, but I would have nightmares all the time. It was just like, ugh. Definitely had bars on the windows in North Park. And you know, like North Park did kind of have some of the up and coming blocks. We were not on it. Oh no. Oh no. It was pretty hood, but it allowed us to survive. I'm in my ramble I missed. Wahoo? You're on, really? You're on Oahu? That's crazy. I didn't know you were way out there as well. Is that still California time zone? That can't be California time zone. How early is it for you guys? Oh, wow. Yeah, I went from that first like year and a half or whatever, 2 years of the North Park life to we got a condo out in Scripps Ranch. And it was massively overpriced, and it was like you could see where the last like set of fires had almost destroyed the whole area, and it was from the 70s, and I swear it had a ghost in it. But we were living a dream. Am I much of a fisherman? I used to be, not lately. But I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. Lived in Mira Mesa, actually, really close to the SOE building. Was stationed. You were stationed on Miramar. Oh, cool. Yeah, we used to listen to the Jets all the time. Germany got some good pike fishing, I would imagine. I mean, if you're into fishing and hunting and stuff, living in Sweden was actually really dope as well. Used to work at the Poway Farmers Market right after college. Oh, cool. I think I've been there. Soldotna, Alaska. I'll have it open in another tab real quick so I don't miss it. You're in Sweden? Old EA King dev now moved out into the sticks specifically for fishing hunting. Badass. Sweden is gorgeous. We missed Germany a ton when we were there, and we're like, oh, can't wait to get back to Germany and blah blah blah. And it really hit us this year how much we like how much we miss Sweden now. Sweden was good. I feel like I missed something. I used to walk by the King studio because I lived on Sveavägen. I lived way down past the library and stuff on Sveavägen, so I was always walking by the King building. Nope, not at St. Eriksplan. That was actually stuff we walked down the street and then go off Sveavägen onto whatever it would be that takes you down to St. Eriksplan. That's near where I used to live. I guess it was a new office then. Why am I walking down here other than to go into this dungeon? Damn it, I meant to sell this sword. I don't have any inventory space. Ooh, I'm gonna auto... Oops. I thought the client would let me auto run if I opened a... Oh, no, I guess not. I swear I did it the other day. The classic, like, type in chat while you're running and it just keeps you running. Nick, Bunny, anybody? Do we have auto run key yet? Going into the dungeon at level 3? I was gonna solo some. I think I got it. The entry is only... The entry is pretty low level, I think. Tilde, maybe? Dude, I can't find it. My keyboard's Swedish. Should have a hotkey setting thing now. Oh, that's right. Keybinds. Oh, look at us. Look at me asking the obvious stuff. We got toggle auto run E. Oh, we're gonna have to rebind that, but yeah. You said New World has a gold dupe bug? Well, that's beneficial now because of all the deflation. Remember going to Germany and using a QWERTY keyboard instead of a QWERTY? I had somebody fail to log into this. Yeah, oh yeah. My my first laptop here just had me going. Let me sell and then I'll grind a little bit more. Yeah, I've still got a ways until I hit 4. It's so weird. The that blue screen's got me so nervous now, and I don't know why. I had bought a brand new MSI laptop in like 2011 or something like that, and it just kept blue screening. I don't know how we eventually fixed it, but it took me forever to get it to stop blue screening. I think maybe that was it. I think maybe the RAM was bad, or not seated properly, or something like that. All right. So summon a pet. Summon a pet. There we go. Since I got called out for only playing a fighter, I figured I'll level this guy a little bit. I've got all these level 4 spells in here. Might as well get to level 4 then. That rat is fleeing. Here, let me move my buff bar so that you can see it. For you, that usually means it's time to take your tower to the garage and blow all the dust and cat hair out of the heat sinks. Jasmine reminds me more regularly to actually clean my machine ever since my previous video card blew up. And they told me it was because of dust. Which it still worked out fine because I got a better video card out of it. But still. This time it probably would not work out fine. I'd be really upset. Wish I could hotkey pet attack. The bats? We have a really cool bat. I'll show you the graphic in a little bit. But these classic M&M bats are going to be hard to part with. Electricity and heat don't mix so well. Yeah, that's what they were saying. Keep them. It's tempting. Keep all the models. Just call it done. I'm looking for skeletons because I want more armor. The streamer you watch had one of his PCs get ruined by his power going out during a storm the other day. Now you're terrified of that? I grew up terrified of storms. I've got a lot of family that lives in Florida. So whenever we weren't in Germany or some other place, if my dad was somewhere else, we'd be in Florida. And you know, it's all of the like, don't take a shower during a lightning storm, don't use the phone during a lightning storm, turn off all the TVs. And I mean, there's lightning storms like constantly in Florida. Neris, you wouldn't do it? You got better than lightning storm? Your house has been hit by lightning 7 times. Can you think of any sort of behavior that you might want to change? Not the most religious of people, but you know. They canceled your homeowner's policy for lightning damage. What do you have? Like one of those old school TV antennas or something? It's peanut M&M with a Hershey's bar glued to it. More like an oblong milk dud. Zukin, I was just thinking Frankenstein's castle, but I couldn't figure out how to make it seem. You got it. Good job. I was like, how do I work some Frankenstein's power in into this? I'm picturing this one trailer my grandfather lived in that had one of those just big ass super antennas on the side of it. I swear it was like a combo TV and like CB radio. Oh, I remember one time when I was living in Florida, when I was 13, my dad was in Korea for a year. We lived out in the middle of nowhere in the Ocklawaha National Forest in a trailer there. And that's when I first discovered bulletin board. Like, I'd called a BBS. And I remember I was playing Trade Wars or something. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But I was playing Trade Wars nonetheless. And the lightning storm came and rolled through, so naturally got to get off the phone and shut down the computer and all that stuff. But then I called it right back up, and for like an hour I was the #1 person on that server for a game that I barely understood how to play. The bats actually fly? Yeah, I mean, you know, they're elevated. I was going to animate them like I did these humanoids, and it didn't work very well. I did something wrong. But it never made it in. It's on my whiteboard list of things to do that I've just kind of ignored since we're getting closer now to actually having better stuff. Serious question, you're not trying to be an asshole. I love the direction it's going, but how much like EQ can you make this game without getting into trouble? It's an interesting question. The areas where we deviate will become more and more apparent as we go, but at the end of the day, if we're not using any sort of actual IP or, I mean, there's none of their IP, there's none of their code. It just looks and feels very classic. DQ was challenged for copying DQ mud through a misunderstanding, yeah. Classes are often named the same things, but don't get us wrong. We have a fighter instead of a warrior. A druid is a thing. A druid is just a strange Englishman. What else do we have? Shaman. Shaman are real things. My stepdad is an actual real life Native American. I guarantee you he knows a shaman. I've met a shaman. I went through a little sweat lodge ceremony once when I was like 14. It was kind of cool. I drank a strange potion at the end of it, which I was really hoping was going to be drugs, but it was not drugs. I was very disappointed. I got my own special name after the ceremony. Wasn't a very cool one. Overall, disappointed. But yeah, there's a shaman there as well. What else do we have? Necromancers? Those are real things. I'm not going to tell you the name. No, I'm not going to tell you the name. It was so anticlimactic. Did the shaman you met look like a capsule too? Yes. Paladins? Paladins are a thing. They're a self-propelled artillery system, I think. We're testing some brand new classes like Inquisitor, Spellblade, Warden, and Archer. This is true. Bob the Shaman. It made me think of Bob the Builder, which then made me think of Shawn the Sheep, which is what all my German coworkers called me forever. Are there bunnies? There'll probably be bunnies. Bunny will make sure of that. Am I just getting really bad luck on these rolls? So I've been squeezing in a few minutes of the Genesis mud every once in a while. And the first thing you have to fight are all these damn bunnies. In the farmland, they're these demonic bunnies. I'm actually getting kind of tired of them. Was Shawn the Sheep your shaman name as well? No. That would have been better. Do you guys have any ideas or plans to spice up camp gameplay? I'm so fine with camping that I can't think of the ideas offhand that we've discussed. We've discussed some different ideas. But I don't want to misspeak at the moment. Maybe one of the team will mention something there. My concern with spicing up the camping gameplay too much, if it's every camp gets spiced up, is that it will start to not feel like camping. Oh, I forgot that these guys are social. Let me run this off real quick. Cause yeah, if you get too spicy, then it's you can run into that scenario where it gets a little too unpredictable, or it detracts from that kind of flow state that you can get into when you're at a camp and you've got a decent you've got a decent group going and you've got all the pools spaced just beautifully and you've got all the pools that you need. You don't have too much downtime and all of that. We'll be looking at the balance of downtime. We'll be looking at what's a nice feel for like pull radius around camps. We'll look at how to pepper in some nice random rare spawns or similar opportunities within the population. Rare drops on base pop, things like that. And then if we can get camping feeling good, and we're happy with the amount of downtime, we're happy with the way that pools feel, and we can achieve that nice flow state, then our goal is, because we're doing this all very much in real time with a shitload of playtesting. I mean, this is playtesting now and it's super early, but here we are, right? Then I think we can find ideas to put the spice in and then check it out and see, all right, is this good? And get some actual player feedback and all of that stuff well in advance. More of an event when your big mob spawns was all you're thinking, things like that. Oh, you mean like maybe more complex encounters or something like the rare spawns, and it's not just a quick like spank it down and go from there. Will itemization be similar to EQ minus dies? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I'm thinking, based on what I think you mean, yeah. And if we're going to have something like dyes in, it would probably be for specific like cosmetics or something that you would be using separate from your armor. But don't take that the wrong way. That's one of those easy things where you may like your brain seeing something that isn't what I mean, but I'd love to, again, it's just stuff that you'd get from other players or potentially find a game, but have those opportunities for players that are really into role play and aesthetics and things like that to be able to swap out and have tons of fun cosmetics that they can get in game. And then some of that stuff maybe you could dye because it's a little less meaningful than that rare armor or rare item or whatever. Syrian, thank you so much. New World is really difficult. It kind of reminded me of EQ. EQ is obviously harder, but still. But it's good to hear, though. Anytime someone says something like that about a game, I take it as a plus. Oh, so multiple spawn points for higher tier mobs would spice things up, like spawning in different rooms decreases predictability. Yeah, so we can play with things like that. And in terms of encounters and events, I love the idea of, even though we're a group-focused game, I love the idea of getting encounters in, or certain bosses, or certain rares, or certain triggered events that have that nice complexity of a raid, or the more sophisticated mechanics and things of that nature. So we'll definitely be playing around with some of that stuff as well. Just base the whole game around Kunark and you'd be happy. I so wanted to make a Shadowrun style cyberpunk game in the EQ universe, and Kunark was going to be so badass, in my humble opinion. Well, this dude's playing too. Oh, that killed him. Garabai, probably worth more than a rat foot. You missed the old Shadowrun games from console? Like Genesis era? Hey Alice! Thank you for the follow and welcome. I feel so bad. We got a wonderful raid earlier, and right as the raid happened, my machine blue screened, which is super rare, let alone for while streaming. What are we making? Here, I'll show you. We're first of all, let me do the little thing over here. So here's our website. We are making a game called Monsters and Memories. And essentially, you can't see very well because it's very dark right now. I apologize. But I can cheat for a second. What we're doing is we're focusing on making a very nostalgic MMO that's taking all the things that we really loved about MMOs during the early, like that 99, early 2000s era, the difficulty and some of the sort of things that were buffed out of MMOs over time, when quality of life rightfully became more and more of a focus, and everything became more systematized and less about player interaction and really having to dig in and find stuff. So I'll find a NPC real quick. We'll show you. I'm trying to show you. So this guy's a quest NPC right here. He doesn't have an exclamation mark over his head. He's just NPC like anything else you'd see. You go in, you hail him. Hail, Holt Beetle Wrangler. And then he responds. And if I want to know what's going on with this guy or see if he's got a quest or whatever, then I need to talk to him just like I'd talk to anybody else in the game. And, all the usual things that everybody loves and asks for. Corpse recovery and a nice slow grind, and bringing back wonderful ideas like camping, where you just sit there and kill away and chat with your group and pull the handle on the slot machine and hope for that rare. Surprised at the revival of MMOs within the indie community. I think that's just because and a lot of really smart people have done a better job of explaining this than I will right now. If you watch any of the like MMO content creators videos and stuff, they do a great job. It's the risk of building a AAA like giant MMO is such that it's hard to experiment. And, with us, what we're experimenting with is essentially going back to a lot of the old concepts that we're very familiar with. We're not reinventing the wheel on the bulk of what we're doing, but instead building a foundation of the known, the things that we really enjoyed that are a little maybe too rough, a little too niche for a mainstream audience. And so instead, we're leveraging all of the experience that we have playing these games. In my case, I actually worked on, I've worked on MMOs since I got in the industry in 2000, but, you know, worked on one of our favorite games. And then we're benefiting from like 20 some years of hindsight. And so looking back and going, oh, now that we know X, Y, and Z, though I'm sure we're going to make a lot of the same mistakes again, but you know, that happens. But we're looking at it like, all right, even if we recreate some of the mistake, if we can recreate that bit of magic that came from the mechanics and decisions that were made back then, while using a new engine, right? While taking a simpler approach, our art's going to be, these are placeholder NPCs and PCs. So it's not going to be quite this simple. And we can show some of the other art at different points, or you can watch some of the old VODs. But basically, take a really kind of retro, referential, old school art style, new engine, wonderful lighting, a lot of the benefits that come from new tools and new engine. And take a risk and have a business plan that's really just focused on, we just have to get a little tiny little taste of even what would be considered successful by 99, 2000, 2001 standards. We get that little bit of an audience, then we're going to be very okay. You're very welcome. Thanks for asking. And yeah, one of the things I want to do is I want to do a better job of, and I was, you know, looking for potentially some help on this front, but I want to do a better job of taking some of the old VODs and getting them trimmed down to show off some of what we've been doing, because we've got some wonderful character art that's underway. We're making progress on a number of fronts art-wise that you're not necessarily seeing reflected in here, while really focusing on the game design and tech and all the foundational systems and elements and tools and all of that stuff. So mini maps for cities, yet no active map. So you may be able to get essentially internal map of sorts. You may be able to get a map that is, you know, what you might see on like a wiki or whatever. We'll see how we wind up tackling that, but it wouldn't be like you'd be able to ping on it, or you wouldn't see your location or whatever. You'd have to actually do some land nav. You'd have to go, okay, there's a tower over here, and the sun came up in this direction and went down in that direction. So, all right, I know where I'm heading. Take clips from important sections of these videos and provide supercut. Catch your new viewers up to the most important aspects of your product and link the video. Yes, it's on my. That's the thing I was rambling about, Neris. It is on the list. Yeah, no GPS. Let's see, the two ideas go somewhat hand in hand. If we add variability to the spawn point of the chase named NPCs, it makes sense that there's a bit of fanfare surrounding their appearance and the encounter. Yep. Benefax said, I always like the idea of encounters with triggers that boost the difficulty reward of encounters mid-fight. Like if Imp Crush is sent a pawn mid-fight to get help. Easy to stop the pawn, but if you let it go, he brings back legionnaires with nice loot. You literally rambled about it after a time. Of course, because when I start rambling, my eyeballs go just, I'm off in La La Land looking at my ideas. Which I do. I literally look at the things that I'm talking about. I'm usually just looking at them and describing them. It's the way my brain works. So that's why I can't really read chat and talk at the same time. Let's see. But I wasn't blowing off what you said, Vanifac. Yeah, it's interesting. I have to look at that. That's one of those ideas when I hear it, I kind of go, yeah. But then I start immediately going like, ways to grief, exploit, blah blah blah. But I think it makes sense. What are we using for networking? What is it? LightNet Lib? I'm not the tech guy. We started with ML API and you know, like it was like ML API and the Unity server, and then Ali rewrote everything, and then we had our own server, and then I think, yeah, I guess that's when he went to LightNet Lib, and then I think did he reintegrate that back into Unity, but then did something else? Yeah, so as an Ali at Unity? No, Ali is one of our colleagues. If you look at the FAQ, well, it doesn't really give you much more information. On the website, you'll see. So if you look Nick right in here, and Bunny, Pattis, Sitzel, Ali is in here usually. Excuse me, frequently, but he's not feeling well today. The way he designed things, it sounds like, you know, the way everything's sort of architected and is working. If we need to change that again at some point, or if there's some better way to, you know, there's some better opportunity or service or whatever, everything seems very portable at this point. Did Ali say why he moved away from ML API? Oh, I can't say for certain, but during that period, and I don't know if it's specifically ML API and sort of what was going on with the Unity server or what. The general theme, and again, this is me not being a tech person at all. The general theme was there was a bunch of overhead. There's a bunch of stuff that, like, I don't know if it was packets or like essentially it was easier for him to go in and rewrite and streamline everything down to exactly what we needed, to just make it super fast and streamlined and clean and modular and all that stuff. You're working on, oh, are you at Unity? We've had nice interactions with the people at Unity. I mean, our approach is we'll always use other, you know, other solutions or whatever, if it's the best pick for us. But Ali has not been afraid to just go in and cut things and rewrite things and oops, pet attack. Yeah, Ali is fantastic. One of the things that I've found so interesting about this project is that essentially I've met the whole team through, through the stream here or through people that I met on the stream. And, I'm going to run over to another part of the map for those of you that have not seen it yet. I just realized you're only seeing just a tiny little fraction of the map. The crazy thing is, I mean, I've been working in games since early 2000, and the people that I've met, just through the stream and then getting this project going and the team that we've assembled, one of the things that gets me excited about the idea of the game coming out and being successful and us holding our own, and for us, success is not, it doesn't have to be massive for us to be successful and self-sustaining and be in a good spot. But it'll be such an interesting testament to the quality of people that you can meet from the community. Right? Like, because it's great to see that we're getting the things done that we are, and man, just such smart people that have so much experience from, either just being very sharp and observant and playing the shit out of games, or taking other industry experience and applying it to games, or game jam experience like with Ollie. And yeah, I've been super impressed, and I'm not just saying that because we're all working on this together or whatever. It's just been mind-blowing. So again, that's one of those things where I'm looking forward to us having a nice successful product, and being able to then speak to the fact that, hey, yeah, you should interact more with your communities if you've got these companies or these games or whatever. There's a lot of wonderful people out there, and we're taking a huge risk by being very open with everything and showing it as we work on it. And we run the risk of you folks getting bored of seeing me run around the same zones or ramble or whatever. We run the risk of someone's going to steal our ideas or whatever it is. And yet I've seen nothing but benefit so far. People inspire me at every level. That's one of the great things about these communities and Twitch and the indie scene and all that. Get some pledge tiers and take your damn money. Oh man. Yeah. When we've got a game, then we'll take your money. Now the merch thing, I've got the accounting company that I've been using for personal stuff, it's been really slow this year, so I've reached out to them to see whether or not we can get faster turnaround on some of the questions that I have with regards to the business. But if we can figure it out with accountants and make sure that we're not getting in a weird state, then maybe we can revisit the whole merch discussion at some point soon. But until then, we may get some sample merch that we can give away as prizes or something. If it's this dark, can we craft placeable torches to light up our camp? Well, the team's got a big campfire fetish, so we'll see. Honestly, I ran all the way over there just so you could see swimming. If you missed it, sorry. Hopefully you're impressed. And then I'm gonna run all the way back to the dungeon. We're swimming animation in AAA MMO. Well, we try. When you basically got... When your entire, like, arm, hand setup is a little ball, then you got a capsule then. Oh! I'd love for us to support spell-based light for darkness, or darkness generation also. Absolutely. Like a globe of light following you around and stuff. Oh, absolutely. When we were playing around with the light source, remember? I was talking about that. Zenetics. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, if we come in here and we look at this guy. Who am I? Client. Yep. Volumetrics is on. All right. And we'll make it a magical globe. And then we'll reduce how over the top big it is. Kind of annoying and blinding. And then we'll put it above us. Because this is our magical spell. We have summoned Globe of Light. It probably shouldn't flicker though. Our torch could flicker. Oh, but now it kind of feels weird without a bit of flicker. Okay, we'll slow that down a bit. We'll go like 18. There we go. Actually, I think it probably should be in front of them now. Oh, it's always going to pop back? Okay, well that's fine. Oh no, it didn't. It's in front of me. Alright, so we've got a summoned light. We've summoned a level 6 globe of light. So level 6, pretty low for such a badass light source. What song is this? If you guys don't know, then I would definitely have to look it up. Oh, I whipped his ass fast. What gets me a new world is they give you reasons to go in the water. Why do you want me to do that? With that swimming situation. Do you just swim on top or? Ooh. Have the light centered on the minion. Send the minion off a ways to see what's there. Oh, I could have my minion hold the torch. Oh my god, we got to do that. If you hand someone's pet a torch, then they can carry it. That would be fun. And then mage pets, they should just be glowy, right? They're so magical. See, it's ideas like these that you guys give us. Yeah, fire mage pets for sure. You are our force multiplier. You are the reason why things are going to move so fast and be so awesome. Thank all of you. Sea of Thieves lantern. One group member is dedicated to holding up a lantern in the night. That's a joke, by the way. I was just making that same joke last week. I think it's worth trying out and see how annoying it is. Like, because we had the argument. No, it wasn't last week. It was Tuesday, right? Because folks were like, you don't want to have to let go of your badass offhand item or whatever if you, you know, just to carry a torch. But that's when we were talking about the fact that by the time you have a badass offhand item, you won't need a torch. It's worth a try, right? The fun thing is we can try stuff like that here, and if it works, it works. If it's lame, then we'll know well in advance. This isn't like the beta test 1 month before we go live or whatever. We're all tasting the stew while we cook. I'm pretty sure I can handle the dungeon on my own. Give elementalists a spell that summons a floaty flame orb familiar in addition to their pet. May not be a bad idea. They should definitely be able to summon some cool light sources. Also, oh, there's Nick. Excuse me. We don't have emotes yet, otherwise I'd wave. What if I have toes in the stew? Toes stew sounds better than people stew. Would they not be people toes? Man, it's funny. I'm looking at the glowy light source. I'm watching Nick's spell casting. I'm looking at the sky. And despite all of this being placeholder, I get so excited for the game. I want to see some magical thematic light sources, like one that sucks the color out of an area and grays it. Ooh. That's even I won't say cooler. That is yet another cool take. Sitzel was just mentioning the Orb of Darkness. Playing around with the colors would be really interesting. I can see that also being a byproduct of some like Necromancer spell. You hit like life tap on somebody, you get the little effects. But like right now when I tap something, whoa, he's got a glowy pet, see? We're already ahead of the curve. Nick's pet's glowing. Another layer to itemization, different light sources, for sure. Will-o-wisp should be an easy mob to create. We were just talking about whether or not it should be an orb like this, or if it should be like the old school sprite. Cool hidden variant quests that give you, or hidden quests that give you variants on pets would be so cool. And items, yep. For sure. I kind of want to make my my light source chill a little bit. Maybe it'll reset when I zone. Hey, listen. Oh, one of my coworkers at the last company, that was her. That was one of her notifications on her phone was constantly firing that off. Hilarious. I heard it more times from her phone than I did from Zelda. But yeah, so Necromancer life tap. Instead of it illuminating the target, because right now we've got illumination on some of the spells. We want sentient weapons are on the list. What if it sucked the color out of everything? Customizable light sources will pair nicely with Bard music. You guys are really... In Discord, you were really... You're really pushing to be able to have some concerts and stuff. Exciting. Life tap thing sounds good, but won't actually look too good. We won't know till we try it, Bunny. One of these days, I'm going to work all the cynicism out of you. Color sap sounds like an enchanter spell. Sentient weapons is a pit. Oh, all of the naysaying. Do you want them to talk? Do you want them to do actions? All of the above. They're going to talk to you, and you know what? If they find you to be too if they find you to be too negative, then they're just going to take off on their own. You're going to be like, oh, where is my sword? It's not in my inventory anymore. And you're going to look, and it's just going to be walking away, going, shaking its head. And be like, Neris. We need to give our elementalist pet spells. A sentient spell book. What else? Sentient weapons could be a GM activity. Possibly. Cool to have a powerful weapon that you have to tame and prove yourself to the sword. Oh, we've been talking about some interesting stuff on that front. Weapons that have requirements of you, or otherwise they just get tired of you and find a new master. Oh, yeah, accept. Oh, good, my light source reset. Oh, I did not. I forgot that he does not come with me. They criticize you for missing too much. Like, oh man, you're really not good at this fighting stuff, are you? The Talking Gun in Cyberpunk was fun, but not tailored. Yeah. Well, going super tailored is definitely hard. You're going to make pets persistent? I believe so. You mean be able to zone with you? Yeah. Let the weapon break the fourth wall? No. Mabinogi? Is it Mabinogi? Fix my pronunciation. Anyways, Bunny said they have spirit weapons. It's pretty much just dumping items into a weapon to level it up, though. Oh, okay. There could be a whole family of positive reinforcement sentient weapons. That would be nice. Weapons that give you, like, nice messages for the day as well. Oh, Nick, you're getting worked, buddy. I'm sorry. Let me actually get aggro, I guess. I could have done much better on that one. I'm sorry. That will go better next time. A whole line of waifu weapons. Is it waifu or waifu? Waifu? It's waifu, right? Waifu. Okay. Waifu. I get it. Okay. Waifu. Guys, I'm 46 years old. Cut me some slack. Oh, I had such a boomer moment at my last company. It was so great. I was telling folks about this. I've got an Akira tattoo on this part of my back that's like, I don't know, like this big. It was like my second tattoo ever. I had just seen Akira and was like, oh my god, this is badass, and went out and got a damn tattoo. And so I was telling some of the kids I worked with at the last company about it. And the one guy, super nice guy, he was like, oh man, that's amazing. We'll have to weeb out. And at the time I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Oh, sorry for language. Anyway, I was like, what? I was like, weeb. Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, no, just because I have the tattoo doesn't mean I know what the hell's going on in the year 2010 or whatever it is. He's like, we'll have to weeb out. I don't know what that means. Can you still change Fallen Watch in Unity? You can. Oh my god, we're dead. You can, because we haven't imported. Pain death, real death. Run. Yeah, Nick, you should be able to. You should be able to change it because we're still, as far as I know, using the Unity version while we're playing. Now, longer term, we'll have to follow up on that. Yeah, Ollie surprised me with importing it into Blender. I think he just wanted to see if he could do it. And so I haven't really even thought through the implications. Or it could be a good time for us to practice some Blender together, buddy. Hey, Deckard. Thank you for the follow. And thank you, everyone, for following up on the question that I missed. Please save quit. Now you know. It's funny. I know so little about Japanese culture. I feel like I'm not a legitimate video game developer. But the little bit that I do know all came from William Gibson books. I'm trying to think the one that really, like, where he was talking about otaku and all of that, like back in the day, like early 90s, mid 90s when he was going off on that. I mean, not that he wasn't ahead of the curve. I mean, Neuromancer came out when, like, late 70s, early 80s? Neris, that's pretty damn cool. I believe it was Iduru. Nice. I'm gonna get the pronunciation wrong. Is it Giratoro? Thank you for the follow earlier. I missed that. Neuromancer was 84. Yeah, I was so... Aduro, super underrated. That trilogy was really good. What were the 3 books? I have all of it in storage at the moment. Because wasn't that the Bridge trilogy? Aduro... Something... I can picture the cover. It was like... Oh man, what were the 3? Now I want to look it up. If you guys aren't Googling already. Virtual Light, yep. Yep, Virtual Light, Aduro, and All Tomorrow's Parties. Amazing trilogy. Underrated. If you like Cyberpunk and you haven't read those, well worth it. William Gibson, I met him after a reading in Austin, and he just seems so... I mean, I'll forever love the dude's work, but he just seems so not into the idea of talking to anybody. I was pretty bummed. I'll be honest. I was a little bit bummed because so into, oh, I've actually got to mem some spells. Need a healer? Shoot you a download link. You come help. Oh, unfortunately. Appreciate the offer though. I mean, Gibson stuff is why I joined the industry when I did. Brawl and Bridge trilogies were great. Yep. Gibson Blue Ant trilogy is pretty bad, especially Zero History. I couldn't get into them. I started Zero History. I've started that book 4 times, and it's still sitting in, unread in storage. It was, yeah, it was hard. You missed absolutely nothing. Yeah. I'd rather just go back and really reappreciate the earlier book. Hold on. Let's back up a little bit before repop and let me actually get my stuff together. So some of the stuff that he did, and I'll get music going again in a second, but some of the stuff that he did, just like the little subtle stuff, it's fun to go back and like look at it and see how much he got right. But some of the cool ideas, like the idea of mixing voodoo and sort of the emergence of the internet together for a theme, right? Like with the whole voodoo spirits at the crossroads, like doing deals at the crossroads, blah, blah, blah. And then looking at the internet as just one massive set of crossroads. And leveraging that, and then the way it was incorporated in the story and all that. Really, really cool stuff. Pet attack. All right, and let me... Oh, I have invisibility. 5 train. Once it's done. Yep, give me 1 minute and I'll get some going again. Underrated stuff. You know who's super cool in person? Bruce Sterling. I was fortunate enough to meet him via Raph Coster because Raph knows like everybody. And those of you that aren't familiar with Raph, he's a former lead designer on Ultima Online and creative director or lead on Star Wars Galaxies, etc. Anyway, he would I ever interview Raph? Yeah, I mean, if we felt it was relevant or whatever. I just feel like he's so out there. Like he's already got so many interviews and stuff like that um I don't know. I almost feel like, yeah, people got it covered. But just generally speaking, yeah. Let me get the music going. You're reading A Theory of Fun. True story. My ex-wife helped proofread one of the early drafts of that book. May actually still have a copy of the printout in storage with my other book. I don't know if she took it when we split or not. Let's see if this is any good. See if this list works for you. Oh no, it's got rain mixed in. That's too relaxed. Anyways, Bruce Sterling is super fun guy, super nice. And if you like interesting futurist takes on things with a lot of like tongue-in-cheek and social commentary and all of that, recommend his stuff if you haven't read it before. It's just chock full of like interesting ideas. During the book reading, he mentioned that because he's been writing so many of these crazy stories about it is Goldeneye music. He's been writing so many crazy stories for so long that he knows all these people at like the Pentagon and these weird departments and companies and contractors and stuff that work for the government. And he's like, the stuff they ask me about or describe to me that they're working on is so much scarier than any of the fiction that I could come up with. And he says it in such a fun way. He's just like, they're working on death rays. It's just Bond, capsule Bond. Save that idea. We'll do that. That'll be game 3. Pet attack. Cold blonde medicated. A license to pill. Damn. That is amazing. That's a high five for you. Okay. Unlock. Can't unlock it. No. I'll just move it here then. Fine. Any headway on character or models at all? What was the last thing that you saw, Drew? Did you see the concepts, the quick sort of concepts that we had worked up, sort of moving us towards talking about the technical implementation, etc.? Oh, you haven't seen anything since then. Oh, let me show you its features. All right. So you saw the old character that I was tweaking, right? While we're sitting here grinding anyways, for those of you that have heard this story, go ahead and go get a coffee or a Coke or whatever. So essentially we took the one character that we had that we were iterating on. We had met, so I was looking on LinkedIn for essentially art houses and stuff and recommendations, and CEO of a company reached out to me and was like, hey, let's talk. We chatted a bit about what we were wanting to do with the old school art style, etc. Nick, don't get us killed. It's story time. Anyway, we told him all about what we're working on, and he seemed really, really into it, and was like, hey, I tell you what, this was like a Thursday. I can work on a repaint of your model as is, though I've got a lot of ideas for, how we could potentially improve it and stuff like that, but can work on that retake of your model as is, and we'll just do like a quick upper body paint and get that back to you. I was like, oh man, that'd be cool. And he's like, we'll get it done by Tuesday or whatever. He ended up shooting me an email with the first guy, because we were like, it was just like, let's do, leather or something like that. And he did like a quick, so that Sunday night, he actually did 2 full retextures of the model that we sent him to just kind of show off, just show off a little bit and see if he could get somewhere stylistically in the ballpark of what we're describing. And so he sent this and this as well. He sent 2 full, just like boom. Right. And so, and this is the exact same model that I had in Blender, unaltered in terms of the geo. And so just with the paint, they conveyed this. And so essentially we got those 3, right? And so what we did from there was, I'll keep an ear out to see if we get attacked. I wonder if I'm always so nervous when I like minimize Unity or whatever. We'll see what happens. Anyways, so then from there they've done a quick sketch of how we could potentially play around with the geo, and they did 2 sets of quick sketches. And so it's like looking at if we wanted to go with slightly more complex geo, but then paint on a lot of these details, etc., and then in a similar manner to what I just showed you. What are the additional things that we could do geo-wise and still hit our look, right? And these were like just real quick sketches for essentially 4 archetypes. It's kind of fightery, plate-wearing kind of folks, leathery, sneaky kind of folks, more natural kind of folks, etc. And that gave us an opportunity to send a lot of feedback and go, this is too modern. These shapes are maybe too wowish, or, this is just too much sticking off of it, etc. And so we, over the last like week and a half or so, this first one, all right. We've done some iteration and given some feedback on that front. And so then the thing that we just got, I won't open it because Photoshop is a resource hog, but essentially now we're looking at how we would cut those shapes up and do mixing and matching. Oh, I didn't show you these guys. These guys are actually the ones I like the best, really, when you look at, I think this is version 1. And so it was just like, we're like, oh, this is kind of, I love the hat and I love, age, and this is very classic. And, it gives us a chance to talk about the implications with regards to like, oh, how do these sleeves animate? Do they clip? Is this the right look for us? Could we achieve all 3 of these look with the same geo and painting it on? Right. what are the limitations? If this had a more narrow robe, could we, you know, and then like I saw this one's like, oh, it's a bit too wowish. But what if we did, I hear you fighting in the background. What if we reduced it, you know, by like 60%? Does that work? Right? Oh, also more things around the waist. Books and belts and potions, and you see that thing, you know, with the scrolls and the... So we want to play around with a lot of that stuff, and don't die. You got him. Cool. You're overpowered apparently. Oh, wait. You're level 3 now. Magically somehow. So yeah, so now let's start to imagine the next steps. We looked at how we would chop that up to be able to mix and match, like sleeves with, you know, lower part of the robe or legs and upper parts and hats and waist and all that. So sent another round of feedback early this week, over the weekend, and we were supposed to talk this evening. Ali wasn't feeling well, and so I was like, all right, because Ollie's got to talk to him about, you know, the technical implementation of chopping things up and how we're going to do blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, that's where we're at with it. I mean, it's making good progress. So. Chopping things up, yeah, for different, I like the visible slots, figuring out how we'd... Oh, are we running? Run. You want to run? No, you're not running? Okay. I like what they spun up with the old model. Thanks for update. Yeah, I'm glad you asked as well. And we'll cobble a lot of this art stuff together into an update as well. We'll have some more updates coming a bit more regularly. I need to get on the ball on that front. Nick, did you just cheat? I just saw a complete heal happen. Never. I know what you did. My pet did. Given my lack of paying attention, a little bit of cheating every once in a while is good. You get to play as monster fighting geezers? Yeah. I want to get more age and stuff in there, right? Like a nice variety of age. Good character customization variety would be nice. Sounds like a great design choice. Pretty sure Battlefield Heroes character customization cut your lifespan by 10 years. Was it a lot of work? Thank you. Is that a reminder to summon a pet? Clipping not very well thought out. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a bit of clipping, right? I mean, and some of the stuff too, if it looks cool when it's not clipping, I'm okay with a little bit of clipping. Have you guys talked about whether you want to be able to mix and match features like hair, facial hair, eye color, or just plan to swap the whole head? It would be nice to be able to swap to get that extra bit of customization. If we can find a way to do it and have it not feel so glued on feeling, you know what I mean? I'd like to keep the simplicity as much as possible, but But if we can get, and I'm thinking mainly for things like facial hair, hair, eye color should be pretty easy. As long as there's eye patch human, yeah. Don't let us forget, but it is a good option. Yeah, I saw that. That's a good point. A good reminder, Droop. They did some really good stuff there. Oh, let me sit my ass down. If I don't die. Good point. Zukin, can I show the bat face? If you're still listening. I have to get permission to show it. Love the bat? I love the bat too, he's very cute. I think I already asked permission, to be honest. I'm just gonna show it. Let me shrink it down so it fits. Look at his adorable bat face. You have a banana with that bat's name on it. Oh, a cutie banana? Wait, no, cuties are the little oranges. Are you just messing with me? Bats. Oh, bats eat bananas. I get it now. Sometimes I'm too literal. Yep. I get it now. I picture it. It takes me a while sometimes. I have a tendency to think that that things are jokes that are not jokes, and vice versa. Yeah, they've got a really fun Discord as well. If you go to the EQ Classic Discord, if somebody has a link, it's a great place to keep up with their stuff. That's another person that, or a group of people that I want to get on here at some point. Let me make a note to follow up with Wiz and Retro MMO. That'd be really cool. And don't forget, next Tuesday, we should be playing Evercraft Online. Excuse me. I made a fantastic dinner tonight. But now I am burping a lot, and I apologize. Almost level 4. Oh, let's see. Yeah, so things will pick up a bit on the art side in the coming weeks. It'll be fun. Oh, we still have a little ways to go before we are replacing our capsule people. We've got animations and other things to take care of once we get to the meshes, but... That's what I'm thinking. Looking forward to catching up, Czar. Once Papa Ali is back in commission. I've got so much silver. 129. Not too bad. You're noticing that you're more interested to level your crafting skills rather than your character's level. Also, that's actually a valid way to level as well. I mean, several of you have had such positive feedback on the harvesting and crafting, etc. Did I turn the music up too loud? I apologize. No, not offhand. What did you call it, Nick? Yeah, see, there was crack involved. I remember there was crack, but I couldn't... Like, crafting crack? Digital crack. It's such a... We live in such a weird world. Anytime you design your video game properly, there's a crack analogy. Pet attack. I really need to be able to map that to a key. I with my assassin in EQ2, I was adventuring, but anytime I wasn't adventuring, I had such a good time crafting furniture that I actually, you know, if there's downtime for any reason or waiting on I think we had a pretty static group at the time. I was definitely crafting, and I could have sworn it motivated me a bit on the adventure front as well, right? Like I was adventuring to get money to craft and also components and stuff. What I liked about EQ2, early EQ2, when you had to rely on crafters, other disciplines for some of your components. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be a fun thing to play with, and see if we can achieve a nice balance there. I do like that I can get my pet to attack while I'm casting. Gotta add back here. So, I think that sort of interdependency, creating a community, is a thing that's come up a bit, and we're going to try to nail. The other thing, too, is the maintaining the viability of those crafted components longer. Oh, also that you can self-cast the heal without targeting yourself when attack. Fair point. Though I've only got the buff, but yeah. So maintaining the viability of components longer. That was. I don't hate like original EQ crafting even, especially. You know, made it easier with the on TLPs with the window that they've got and stuff. But the part that bums me out when I'm making stuff in EQ is it's all just going to be vendored. Like, yeah, Drew, I don't disagree. And it's funny, even the act of crafting though, that could have been simplified. I'd still be happy with it. I didn't necessarily need a mini game. Bilbo, yep. That lack of demand was the bigger thing. I honestly didn't mind the clicking. To me, playing these games, it's just a bit of meditation, right? It's like but I'm also a very horrible player. I'm the person that's watching a YouTube video on the other monitor instead of being efficient with my time. And so things like just repetitive clicking and things like that. Love it. That all started back in the day when I had a big old CRT monitor with a tiny little CRT TV between my girlfriend and I, our monitors. And we'd be sitting there on raid day for whatever it was, 14 hours or something, and I'd just be watching the cooking channel the whole time. And then later on, when we could actually afford to buy the kind of food that you would cook, like you would on one of those cooking shows, I started cooking my ass off. EQ1 requires a lot of combines though. That's true as well. Last night with Alchemy, for example, 290, 295 took corner combo. Yeah. Yeah. You just set it on play. Took care of business. Makes sense. Don't mind time investment required to click, but my hands get really tired using mouse so much. Yeah. Oh, it is actually legit physically demanding. Almost there. This relaxing music gets to me. Gets me sleepy. It's the middle of the day for most of you. Well, it's super morning for our Hawaiian friends. When we go heavy on the crafting discussion, we'll have to make sure Ollie's in here. He's heavily invested in crafting. You want to go that route? The quality of life improvements are almost a must. You have to click a bunch, then you should have to make the clicking fun. Just a grind to save our old man wrist. Ooh, the light source is weird. The shadow. Thinking that some crafted items could be keepers. Let's say you can evolve the item in itself, and end product down the line is worth it, not just to learn to do new things. Yeah. Oh, these lights are interesting. Makes it look fancy. What is going on? I gotta change. Maybe not. No, I see it. It'll be done soon. Having crafted with rare materials or no drop items, where high skilled crafters can mentor you by being in your group or something like that, and give crafters a vital role in raiding guilds. So having crafters play a role in guilds is definitely. Why is this overlapping? Definitely on our minds. It's just all in there. It is Wavery 64. I had to drive all over Washington, D.C. area to try to find a Nintendo 64. When the year that they came out, it was just not happening. Finally got one though. Oh yeah, the dolphin. I forgot about that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That was definitely my fault. I both hated and loved the list function on P99 Green. I don't know if making someone sit in one spot for 37 hours to get boots is good game design, but I felt very accomplished when they finally dropped and I could sleep. I feel you. I got my J boots the last week they were in Najina, and I was not going to leave the dungeon until I got my J boots because that was going to be that. And I swear I spent the better part of 3 days in a chair. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of those things where you. I don't know if it's the best design, but I do think it's a design that works in certain ways and in a very unique way. Did that crash? I'm not loading. Let me reload this. Not the quest, the camping part of it, right? The question is those kind of crazy camps. And I gotta admit, there's a certain beauty to the simplicity. And I enjoy it just from a personal standpoint. Pull some stuff out here. Oh, I gotta reset my UI. I believe. Let me see what happens here. I'll be right back in. We camped the Cyclops. Nick and I camped it on Eridune for my cleric, and it was exhilarating. Yeah, the list function where you could wait in line. I never was in any crazy camp like that on P99. But I was talking to Mike, Big Cat, I believe, about some camps that they did. Or it was brutal. But again, once you get your item, you're pretty amped. Oh goodness. I'm just following you, Nick. I assume you're taking us to a camp that you know. Okay, these are white. Some people had to stay on the list for a Mana Stone for 6 or 7 days. Yeah, I could have sworn I've heard first-hand account of like a 4-day Mana Stone camp. Neris, that sounds like it would break something. Oh crap, I forgot that I got on late. I was looking at the session time, not considering the fact that this session crashed earlier with the wonderful blue screen, as well as I had to start a little bit late due to a phone call. I just looked down at the time and I'm like, I looked up the session time. I was like, oh, 2 hours. Oh man, great. We still have another hour playing. That's fine. I looked down at the actual time and was like, oh crap. Excuse me, it's almost bedtime. Oh, Belfaster, that's a great question. Because you had asked in Discord, and I wasn't quite sure who to ask. Oh, let me raise bones real quick. We'll sneak a couple more pulls in before bed. Okay. Sorry, my pet's lagging. Totally not my fault. I'm looking forward, whoops. My minion just scared the shit out of me. Neris, I'm looking forward to equally, silly things happening. That makes sense. I didn't think about the fact that it was maybe Ryan. You're Ryan Palacio, right? My level 1 pet's not very durable. Yeah, that's a bummer to hear. Oh. I'm dead. I'm dead. Yeah, I'd love to be able to talk to Ryan. Oh, thank you for the summon. But as soon as I level, I've got some good spells lined up. I just actually got to do it. All right, Nick. What's going on there? Corpse. Okay. I've got to remem and everything anyway, so I'm going to. You know what I want to try? I haven't done. I have not tried. It doesn't. I don't know if it works with half this stuff, but I'm gonna invis and head back to town because it's about time for me to camp. Remember he made a goblin that traversed the zone? Nariak Town, Sol A, Sol B were his lower upper Guk, Kazakh. I thought upper Guk was GZ, if not all of Guk. I am invisible. We'll see. Okay, cool. Yeah, the few times that I talked to Ryan when I was working there, it seemed like a super nice guy. I talked to him a few times in San Diego and then a couple of times when he was in Austin. Didn't he move to Austin to work on Star Wars Galaxies? When you had referenced Ryan in a previous stream, I was thinking of a different Ryan at the time. I don't know why. But yeah, now that I'm thinking, Palacio makes sense. You should remember someone who you remember is not even close to a nice guy just for a change. It's so funny you say that. I was thinking of a former coworker earlier today. I saw him on LinkedIn and I was like, I really need to just reach out to this. I haven't talked to this person in so long. I need to reach out and ask the dude, like, we should talk. And then it'd be interesting to see. And I'm not talking about Milo at the moment. I'm talking about somebody else, somebody I worked with in a different city, different team. I was just like, it'd be funny if I like reached out and was like, hey, let's just catch up and clear the air. And the person is just as shitty, and I'd be like, oh man, why'd I do this? Milo was the first guy who was told not to tweet at people anymore. He didn't tweet. He commented. I can't remember. I can't remember if it was on his blog or on the forums or where. But I just remember the person was being very rude to him. And they were going back and forth. Yeah, it was the blog related post where he said something to along the lines, don't quote me, but I could have sworn it was something all along the lines of keep talking, little man, as long as you're paying your subscription. My Porsche needs new performance parts. Which, I mean, sometimes some people have it coming, and sometimes professionalism only goes so far. Rude, no big deal. Biting the hand that feeds you, not great. Well, he was, in all fairness, encouraging the hand to keep feeding him. As much as I would like to believe that we will always be professional, some of those hands are just dirty. Some dirty, grubby hands doing dirty, grubby things on the forums. Yeah. Let me see. I just started checking this one out while we're on the topic. Yeah. So I tell you what, guys, it's 11 o'clock. I will be up at somewhere between 5:30 and 6 a.m. to take the dog out. So I think we're gonna wrap up for tonight. We've had a fun week here. Thank you for adventuring with me, Nick. Yeah, we'll be working on some stuff. We'll probably have something new to look at on I was about to say on Tuesday, but don't forget we're going to be playing Evercraft online unless something pops off and we're not able to play. So we'll be playing somebody else's game. And having a lot of fun. The first time we played it was like a 3.5 hour session, and we had so much fun. So definitely come check it out on Tuesday. Check out their website in the meantime. I'm glad you enjoyed our Tic Tac game. Damn, I'm trying to remember the Golden Eye joke earlier. What was it? It was something pill related. All right. Anyway, a license to pill. Oh my god, it's so good. Another high five for that. Anyway. Yeah, so we're going to be playing another game on Tuesday. Hanging out with those dudes, and they're super rad. And you should hang out in their Discord, and you should check out their website. And then next Thursday we'll have more stuff here, and yeah, given the amount of time, we should definitely have some more stuff to talk about. So cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks for bearing with the blue screen. Those of you that are new, thank you for hanging out and hanging in there, and for all the follows. Be sure to hang out with us on Discord as well if you want to chat before next week. I probably should have done that before you all started running out. And you can also hang out on the MNM Discord. And while you're at it, join our mailing list. We won't spam you, but it's nice to see us break 750 on there. We want to have as many names as possible. And yeah, that's that. We'll see you guys on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Good luck with your project. Avoid the tentacle monsters if you live in Hawaii. And we'll see you then.